coverage you can count on.
Cleaning up today after another peaceful protest that was overshadowed again by a group of people who caused damage in East Liberty. 9 police officers were hurt last night by flying rocks and bricks, and 20 people were taken into custody. But the scene was much different than what we saw Saturday night.
Yeah, police were more than ready, and protesters calling for peace were pointing fingers at the people causing trouble. Channel 11's Mike Holden takes us through the protests to the violence and what's happening now at East Liberty.
This right here is where that peaceful protest came to an end. Pittsburgh police say it was a small group of agitators who essentially hijacked the event, damaging these businesses. Now, cleanup is well underway. Less than 24 hours ago, demonstrators filled the streets of East Liberty, peacefully gathering to remember the life of George Floyd. As the protest wrapped up by Target, things took a violent turn. Pittsburgh police say a small select group split off and started vandalizing and breaking these glass storefronts. They threw rocks and bottles at officers stationed along Center and Negley. Officers gave multiple orders to disperse and ultimately deployed smoke to get them out. 20 people were arrested and 9 officers hurt. Today, volunteers and an area church group returned to the now calm site to do their part and begin cleanup efforts.
It's just an act of caring. I think sometimes we want to do really big things, but it's the small, little, incremental things that really can affect what we want to see change.
Now, public safety officials say they're going to keep a close eye on area events and monitor the situation. We'll stay on top of it as well and bring you an updated report for Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting in East Liberty, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
And Mike showed you some of the peaceful protests, the entire sidewalk there, the entire street from sidewalk to sidewalk, I should say, as far as our chopper could see, full of people demanding justice, not just for George Floyd, but for all of the black lives that have died at the hands of police. One of the organizers told us she was surprised by the response.
It was just a sight of seeing everybody here. Like, I just never thought that from that single post, you know, it got like 10 shares from what I seen. I never thought it would turn into like an actual peaceful protest.
At several points, protesters stopped and sat on the ground chanting and urging people to vote and call on their elected officials for change. The man who police say incited some of the violence in Pittsburgh on Saturday is now behind bars. Brian Bartles turned himself into police yesterday. Here he is in handcuffs, leaving police headquarters last night. Police say he spray painted a police car and stomped on the windshield. He's also accused of stirring up other protesters and throwing bricks at mounted police. The FBI is helping police search for others who incited violence during the protest.
4 officers were shot during a violent protest in St. Louis. The officers were standing off to the side of a police line when they were shot. The city's police chief got emotional while talking about the shooting and the unrest.
And all of this because some people just decided to steal and break windows. That's all they're doing. So I don't understand what that has to do with Mr. Floyd's death. That's what I don't understand.
All 4 officers are expected to be okay, and so far, no arrests in that shooting. A moving display of compassion and unity between police and protesters in New York City. The chief of police taking a knee with protesters.
Take a knee! My sister, come on! Take a knee! He believes in you! You got it. You got it. All right? Yo, thank you for supporting us. We got to continue supporting each other. That's how we start. Now you got to continue marching with us. Have a good day. I love you.
As we've seen in Pittsburgh, the protests in New York have often started out peacefully, then turned into violence and looting. The police chief there keyed in on an important point. The violence is thought in many cases to be instigated by outside agitators.
It means that the people who live in New York want New York to end the violence, get the intruders that are not from this city the hell out of here, and give us back our city.
Similar scenes across the country. During one protest in Fort Worth, Texas, officers on bicycles approached protesters who were out after curfew, but instead of arresting them, those officers got off their bikes and took a knee. The police chief and his assistant then walked into the crowd, kneeled down, and prayed with them. The chief told his officers to back off, and the protesters dispersed.
President Donald Trump is making an appearance at another church right now. He arrived with the First Lady at St. John Paul II National Shrine about 15 minutes ago. Today's visit comes after yesterday's controversial walk to St. John's Episcopal Church. That visit occurred after the president declared himself an ally of all peaceful protesters. But many are criticizing the move because before the president visited the church, military police forcefully dispersed peaceful protesters nearby with tear gas. NBC's Chris Pallone has more on that and a warning from the president.
About 20 minutes before a mandatory curfew started Monday night, federal officers and National Guard troops outside the White House suddenly moved on peaceful protesters, hitting them with flash grenades and tear gas while shooting rubber bullets. Then, moments later, another extraordinary scene. The president, cabinet members, and staff walked off the White House grounds to a historic Episcopal church that protesters had vandalized the night before. Early this morning, the official White House Twitter account posted a campaign-style video of the visit showing Mr. Trump holding a Bible in front of St. John's Church. The two top Democrats in Congress called the president's actions cowardly, weak, and dangerous.
The president just used a Bible, the most sacred text of the Judeo-Christian tradition, and one of the churches of my diocese, without permission, as a backdrop for a message antithetical to the teachings of Jesus.
It happened moments after Mr. Trump delivered his first formal statement following the death of George Floyd a week ago.
I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters.
Warning Governors Hill invoked the Insurrection Act to send the military to cities where violent protests continue.
If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them.
Federal military police are en route to Washington, D.C. on the president's order as the Capitol emerges from the fourth straight night of protests. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
The polls are finally open. The state primary is today, 5 weeks late. As you know, the election put on hold because of the coronavirus. Many people sent in mail-in ballots to avoid the polls. Channel 11's Liz Kilmer shows us the changes you will find if you're heading out to cast your vote.
If you feel comfortable voting in person today, the first thing that you want to do is confirm your polling place because they have been consolidated. If you're an eligible voter here in Allegheny County, you should have received this postcard letting you know where to go. And this is just a number of changes taking place because of the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 concerns didn't stop folks from turning out first thing Tuesday morning at the Ross Public Works building, eager to cast their vote in the PA primary. Some of them new to the polling place as county officials consolidated locations due to the pandemic. Many voters wore masks as instructed, with officials providing them for those in need. Among other safety changes across Allegheny County, polling locations may have multiple sign-in tables or rooms in order to better distance voters. Poll workers are on hand to direct you to where you need to go. And those workers will be asking you to follow social distancing guidelines by standing at least 6 feet apart. And you should see tape on the floor to help enforce that. Also, paper ballots will be used for everyone who's able. If a voter must use a ballot marking device with a touchscreen, county officials say they'll be cleaned after each use. Overall, officials ask that voters be patient. People we spoke with are happy to roll with the changes and preferred this to a mail-in ballot.
I wanted to come and vote the way I always voted, and I want that to continue. And I want my vote counted as I can see where I put the vote.
And one last thing, if you don't feel comfortable using the pens provided by your polling place, you can bring your own. You're encouraged, though, to bring a blue ink pen. Back to you.
A few precincts in Westmoreland County started the day short on poll workers. Some locations are short 3 to 4 workers apiece. The County Election Bureau does not believe there will be a huge showing, though, because of an uptick in the mail-in ballots. If you are going to the polls in Washington County, you'll be using new voting machines. These new touchscreen machines will be replacing the old ones. They have an added paper trail. You'll also notice several safety changes. There will be signs on the floors to ensure social distancing, sanitizing wipes and bottles, and Q-tips so you don't have to touch the screen with your finger. Channel 11 has special Decision 2020 coverage planned throughout the day for you. You can find it on Channel 11 News, WPXI.com, and on the WPXI News app.
Well, we had some morning rain, now clouds and some sunshine and much warmer. Severe Weather Team 11 meteorologist Stephanie Allison takes us through the next 24 hours. Stephanie?
Good afternoon, Gordon. Good afternoon, Pittsburgh. Cloudy skies across us right now. We had those rain showers this morning. Those are gone, and we're going to continue to see those clouds mixed with sunshine this afternoon. So you're going to notice a brighter sky as we move through the daytime. Look at the winds. The winds are picking up now, too. So we're going to look at gusty winds up to 20 miles per hour this afternoon. So changes now coming to your forecast. You're going to notice this warm up. Yesterday, we only hit 71. Sunday, we were in the 60s. Today, we get to the upper 70s, near 80 degrees. So it is going to be warmer, and we're going to start to turn humid. Plus, we have a chance of strong thunderstorms in the forecast tomorrow. The latest details on that in the next 15 minutes.
The Allegheny County Health Department just released an update on coronavirus cases, and there are 17 new cases reported since yesterday. There have now been 1,928 positive cases since March 14th, and the health department has learned of one additional death. Statewide, the case count is nearing 73,000. The State Health Department is updating us on other local cases, and we'll have that information coming up in just a few minutes.
Nearly 26,000 nursing home residents have died from COVID-19. That is according to a report for the nation's governors. But the state health director says that we might be turning the corner here. She says Pennsylvania is seeing a drop in the number of COVID-19 cases in patients and staff members at long-term care facilities. And now they're taking new steps to prevent future outbreaks. Brighton Rehab in Beaver County had one of the worst outbreaks in the state. There were more than 70 deaths and more than 300 positive cases. Dr. Rachel Levine said the state will begin testing staff and patients continuously. The decisions will be made on an individual basis. The nursing homes that have higher case numbers or are in a more densely populated area will be the ones seeing more testing. First, they were shut down by the coronavirus. Now they're cleaning up after looting. How business owners are dealing with these new challenges.
And how Pittsburgh Public Schools are using the protest as a life lesson.
You're going to find anything else like the breaking news desk in Pittsburgh. You're going to get breaking news as it's happening.
We have an anchor now dedicated to following the latest information as it comes in.
That is a resource no one else has. If you see me on the breaking news desk, you know it's an important story.
You're streaming WPXI Now, your source for original local shows. Get the inside scoop on all the hot events, entertainment, and celebrities in and around Pittsburgh every week. Stream Access Pittsburgh on demand anytime on WPXI Now. Watch David Johnson and Peggy Finnegan on Channel 11 News at 5.
Pittsburgh Public Works cleaned up graffiti left behind during the protests on Sunday. They had to power wash Grant Street outside the city-county building. Protesters spray painted some messages we can't show you on TV, along with messages with some meaning, including "I can't breathe" and "Black Lives Matter." The superintendent of Pittsburgh Public Schools says teachers and staff are using the protests as a teachable moment for students. Anthony Hamlet says the district canceled its parade meant to celebrate the end of the year. They did so to keep everyone involved safe. Hamlet tells us school administrators have been explaining to students why the protests are happening, and it's an issue that hits close to home for him.
You're not born with racism. That's taught to you. And so as it's taught, we can unteach it or not teach it at all. And those are things that we have to begin to have the conversations around.
Hamlet says they are planning to reschedule that parade for a later date.
There's some people that might not recover, and that's a shame.
His downtown business was spared during Saturday's violence, but others were not so lucky. You can see in this drone video at least one person smashing a store window, another person throwing a trash can down the street. Some business owners told Channel 11's Joe Arena it's a setback, but they still plan to reopen when our area moves into the green phase on Friday.
The effort to get back to normal and back in business took a major hit over the weekend here in downtown. Take a look at this eyeglass store here on 5th Avenue. It's a perfect example of the destruction that took place over the weekend. You can see inside damage everywhere and only one or two pair of eyeglasses remaining after what started as a peaceful protest turned into senseless violence.
It's hard to kind of wrap my head around all of it, but obviously throwing bricks at our storefronts was a touch senseless and it doesn't make any sense to us.
For a century and a half, the Oyster House here in Market Square has been serving Pittsburghers. But for owner Jen Grippo, business is on hold because broken windows are taking precedent. Jen says she hopes the landmark restaurant will be back up and running on a limited basis before the end of the week when the green order goes into effect.
We have a great team behind us, and they're working diligently to help us open and hopefully operate as normal as possible.
Chris Weck also owns a business in downtown Pittsburgh. After seeing what was happening in other parts of the country, Chris boarded up his shop before any damage could be done. While Chris says he's one of the lucky ones, his concern is for the families associated with small businesses like his that may never come back.
I couldn't imagine if I was one of the businesses, say, you're a small business owner and you couldn't afford to pay your insurance. And if this happened, it breaks my heart for those people if there is a situation like that.
Joe Arena, Channel 11 News.
Jen says she's lucky her insurance will cover all the damage, but other business owners we talked to are in the process of finding out if their insurance will cover it.
The Leechburg mayor wants to know who stole flags from veterans' graves, and he's offering up a reward. Our partners at the Trib report dozens of flags were stolen from graves at the Leechburg Cemetery. The mayor says about 30 to 50 flags are now missing. They disappeared between May 23rd and May 30th. A teen has pleaded guilty to animal abuse after he posted a video of himself torturing a deer. Alexander Smith was hunting in Brookville in November when he recorded the abuse. As part of the plea deal, Smith has to complete community service at an animal shelter and pay $1,600 in fines. Smith's hunting license has also been revoked.
Hurricane season is now officially underway in the Atlantic. NOAA is predicting up to 19 named storms. Hurricane season lasts through the end of November.
Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Stephanie Allison. Mostly cloudy skies for us now. We had showers this morning. They're gone. We're going to see sunshine mix in this afternoon. So you're going to notice those temperatures heating up, and also the breeze picks up as well. So dry the second half of the day here. Good to get outside if you want to go for a walk, a jog. Just notice it will be warmer, and we're also going to start to turn humid. 79 at 5 o'clock. So yesterday we hit 71. Some of us come in 10 degrees warmer this afternoon than yesterday. So wind sustained rain, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Winds could gust up to 20. And look at these marks. I'm going to show you here in a second. We do have a chance to see a stray shower or thunderstorm pop up. Know that if you are going to go out for a jog or for a run, that could pop up, especially north and east of the city, just due to the fact that we have this warm front nearby. So 81 in Washington today, 80 degrees in Uniontown, 81 in Beaver, and a warm evening. Look at those marks hang on in the upper 70s through your evening hours. We should have a nice sunset tonight, overnight down to 66. So we are not going to have a very cool night overnight tonight. We woke up on Monday morning in the 30s. This morning we woke up in the 50s, and now tomorrow, as I mentioned, big changes. We're going to wake up in the mid-60s. So it's going to feel warm. It's going to feel muggy tomorrow. Look at this. Cloud cover increases through the morning hours. Showers and storms fire up with a front that's going to sink just across us during your afternoon hours tomorrow. The timing has changed on this a little bit. The models are back and forth, so you want to keep checking back in for the latest on that. So look at those showers that pop up, chance of some thunder there. And a few of these storms with this line could become strong just because of the setup we already have here today, this afternoon, the heat that's coming, the humidity that's coming. That's kind of setting the stage for the chance to have some severe weather in the forecast tomorrow. So the SPC has put us in a slight risk for severe weather on Wednesday, and the greatest timing there is the middle part of your day and into the afternoon hours. Then that threat begins to diminish once the sun goes down tomorrow evening. So taking a look at the main concerns with this system for tomorrow would be heavy rain and really damaging winds. You could see some large hail out of this system in some isolated spots. And then, of course, you can't even rule out an isolated tornado, but right now it looks like damaging winds and heavy rain with the forecast tomorrow. Mid-80s. So we went from the 60s on Sunday to the mid-80s tomorrow. So a big warm-up for us in the forecast there. And we're going to see the humidity on the rise into Friday. So we're going to stay warm and very humid, and that brings us that unsettled weather Thursday and Friday. Chance of some showers around south on Thursday. Also some isolated showers and thunderstorms on Friday, but this clears out just in time for the weekend. The weekend is going to be a little bit cooler with a mix of sun and clouds, and it's also going to feel more comfortable.
Federal watchdogs say scams are skyrocketing. Why? It's easier now for crooks to take advantage of people.
A local blood bank plans to test every single donation, what they're going to be looking for, and how it could help in the fight against COVID-19. In Severe Weather Center 11, we cover weather everywhere you live.
And we have the experience to get it right. We know the weather patterns across our neighborhoods and understand the unique influences on your area.
It's why there can be heavy downpours in northern Allegheny County,
while it's dry in Greensburg and rain is moving into Irwin.
Our priority is to prepare you for the weather in your neighborhood.
Count on Severe Weather Team 11 on Channel 11 News.
Tracking storms where you live.
When you want news from where you live,
Watch Channel 11 News at 5.
Drug maker Eli Lilly has started the first human trials of a potential COVID-19 treatment. It uses antibodies from people who have recovered. The company says the trial's first phase aims to find out if the treatment is safe and if people tolerate it well. They could have those results by the end of the month. If the trial is successful, it could be available by fall. Vitalant is the first national blood bank to test all donations for antibodies. The FDA authorized the test, and it will indicate if the donor's immune system produced the antibodies to the virus, regardless of whether or not they ever showed symptoms. It is possible that these antibodies could help doctors and researchers learn more about the virus and the long-term effect that it has on the body. And right now, Vitalant needs blood donations, all types. They'd like you to make an appointment if you can.
COVID-19 sidelined sports for kids, but as we get ready to move into the green phase, many teams are thinking it could be time to hit the field. UPMC's sports medicine department designed a return to sports playbook. It gives a detailed guide for coaches, athletic trainers, and organizers. And it covers everything from physicals to equipment sanitizing and from PPEs to practice and competition. The full guidelines can be found on their website, and there are different links for youth, high school, and college teams.
We may be moving into the green phase in 3 days, but people are still struggling. The extra help available for people depending on food banks.
And it's one of the biggest races in today's primary election. Why both candidates say the race is all about one man's record.
Channel 11 Morning News is committed to covering the reopening of our area.
Big news for restaurants.
Bringing you what's next with experts weighing in.
Online toolkit full of best practices for reopening.
Here's what changes in the green phase.
Count on Channel 11 News every morning. You're streaming WPXI Now, your source for original local shows. Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, and more. The hottest Pittsburgh sports topics with even hotter opinions. Halftime adjustments. Wednesday nights at 7:30 on WPXI Now. Pittsburgh's chief meteorologist Stephen Cropper tracking the weather in your neighborhood.
And we're back with today's top stories. Cleaning up today after another peaceful protest, but that protest got overshadowed once again by a group of people who wanted to cause chaos in East Liberty. 9 police officers were hurt last night by flying rocks and bricks. They were treated and released from the hospital, and 20 people were taken into custody.
And the polls are finally open. The state primary is today, 5 weeks late. The election was put on hold because of the coronavirus. Many people sent in a mail-in ballot to avoid the polls. Social distancing rules are in place at polling locations. Breaking right now, an update on new coronavirus cases in our area.
Yeah, a little bit earlier in this newscast, we told you there were 17 new cases in Allegheny County. Well, the health department now tells us that their report had a typo and there are actually only 9 new cases. And the state health department report was just released as well. There was just 1 new case reported in Beaver County. Sadly, though, there was also 1 new death and 2 new cases in both Butler and Westmoreland counties. The case count statewide is nearing 73,000 people, with 612 new cases and 100 new deaths have been reported.
Now to more Decision 2020 coverage, and it's one of the biggest races on the ballot tomorrow. A progressive challenger to a longtime congressman. Jerry Dickinson is battling incumbent Mike Doyle in the 18th district. It's a Democratic stronghold that includes all of Pittsburgh, plus communities including Plum, Elizabeth, and Bethel Park. Channel 11's Rick Earl spoke with both candidates, and both of them told him talking about Doyle's record is an advantage.
Jerry Dickinson is a Pitt law professor, and this is his first run for political office. He's going up against a man who served in Congress for a quarter of a century.
Mike Doyle's not a bad man, and we're not running an anti-Doyle campaign, but we are asking the voters and Mr. Doyle a question.
Jerry Dickinson of Swissvale says he's not intimidated by his opponent, veteran incumbent Mike Doyle, but he has a lot of questions.
It isn't whether or not Mr. Doyle has done something in his 25 years in office. The question is whether he's done enough. And the answer to that question is a resounding no.
All challengers say that, so it's not surprising. Look, I campaign the same way every time I run. I think the best way to campaign is do your job well.
Doyle, who lives in Forest Hills, is touting his record and millions of dollars in economic development projects and jobs to the Pittsburgh area, including $22 million for the Lower Hill Development Project and the just awarded $100 million for the rapid transit bus line from downtown to Oakland.
Worked hard for my district. It's an area I love. I want to see it do well. I consider it a tremendous privilege to serve the people of Pittsburgh, and I leave it up to them. I do my job as best I can, and on Election Day, it usually takes care of itself.
But Dickinson claims this region is one of the worst for African Americans. He says his own experience, one of 11 adopted children raised by a family in Shaler, gives him a unique perspective.
We have least livable region for African American women. We have some of the highest rates of pollution, worst air quality in the United States. A lot of major issues are happening right here in our backyard.
Doyle says he's been endorsed by the Sierra Club for his work on climate change and the environment, and he's worked with the African American community on inequalities.
I've worked with many groups in the city of Pittsburgh to try to chip away at that, but we still got a lot of work to do. So I don't disagree with them on that, and I've been part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Dickinson says voters need a fresh voice.
We need people who don't come from the party machine. We need people who don't come from kind of the lockstep approach to how you get into office working for a politician.
But Doyle says in this uncertain time of the pandemic, experience is needed.
This is not the time to send a freshman to Congress. You need somebody there in the United States Congress that understands how that system works.
And the winner of the Democratic primary will face the lone Republican Luke Negron, who describes himself as an ordinary citizen who moved into the political sphere in the general election coming up in November. Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.
And you can count on Channel 11 to bring you live election results online and on the WPXI News app. And join us when the results start coming in tonight on 11 at 11.
The pandemic has shown just how great the need for food is in our communities. Cars just keep on lining up at all the food drives that we cover. Even as Pennsylvania reopens, many people are still out of work and still struggling to put food on their tables for their families. And that is why the Department of Agriculture has now extended the Disaster Household Distribution Program. It was set to expire at the end of May, but it has been extended through June 25th. We're told roughly $80 million worth of food will be distributed across the state.
It is going to be important to continue to make sure that we are meeting the need across Pennsylvania.
The Agriculture Secretary says they will reassess at the end of the month if they need to extend that program again. Westmoreland County expects to get millions of dollars through the CARES Act, but officials say it's not going to be enough. According to the Trib, the county will get more than $31 million in federal coronavirus relief funding. The local officials say the money won't help their budget that was upset by the pandemic. Costly expenses include buying protective equipment and paying their workers overtime.
The State Department of Health is warning about scams targeting WIC nutrition program recipients. Officials are reminding you not to disclose personal information without verifying who is calling. WIC clinics do reach out to determine eligibility, but they will never call you and ask for bank information to deposit funds directly into your accounts. Dedicated shopping hours for vulnerable seniors may be here to stay. Walmart is extending its senior shopping hour indefinitely. It was a move many grocery stores and essential retailers started back in March to help older adults and people with underlying health conditions shop right after stores had been sanitized.
Good afternoon, I'm meteorologist Stephanie Allison. So it is warmer outside right now than yesterday, and we're going to continue to see that warm up in the forecast, and you're going to notice the humidity increasing as well. This is all due to a warm front that's lifting up across us, and we are going to see changes come to our forecast. So right now, still cloudy out there. The clouds will start to break up for a little bit of sunshine this afternoon. It's going to be a nice afternoon, but it's going to be warmer. Winds are going to pick up as well, and temperatures upper 70s, lower 80s across the Pittsburgh area today. But this sets up the stage for tomorrow, which will bring severe thunderstorms in the forecast. More on that, the timing, and what you can expect the rest of the week coming up in the next 15 minutes.
Thanks, Stephanie. The U.S. Census hits a milestone, but its work is far from over. The next step as they look to count every American.
We've all slowed down, hunkered down to keep our distance, and the weather's helping to hold it together.
It's getting us through our day, our chance to get outside.
So while we're all figuring out our new normal,
one thing you can always count on, Severe Weather Team 11.
we're here.
Or here.
Forecasting your weather.
When you need to get outside for some fresh air, or you need to plan an indoor activity.
We'll be here to keep you safe at home because we're severe weather coverage you can count on.
Channel 11 News at 5, covering more news happening in Allegheny County.
The Port Authority just launched a long-term plan to guide Allegheny County's public transit through 2045. The blueprint, called Next Transit, will help the agency figure out which areas need further investment. The Port Authority is asking for public input on the plan. Pier 1 Imports is officially going out of business. This comes after a court approved its bankruptcy application, and it allows the company now to liquidate its stores. Pier 1 has about 500 stores across the country and has really struggled in recent years due to online competition. Pier 1 plans to have all stores permanently closed by October.
Hempfield could be getting a new home improvement store, according to our Trib partners. Menards might be moving in. It would go into what was the Ramada by Wyndham Hotel and Conference Center. If plans are approved, the former Westmoreland Athletic Club would also be torn down. The U.S. Census Bureau has reached its goal for households answering the 2020 census questionnaire on their own. The Bureau says that the self-response rate is about 60%, and that number will likely grow in the next 2 months. That's when census takers start knocking on the doors of homes whose residents haven't yet answered the questionnaire. The census determines how many congressional seats each state gets.
Federal watchdogs say scams are skyrocketing. Why it's easier now for crooks to take advantage of people.
Channel 11 covers weather everywhere you live.
And we have the experience to get it right. We know the unique weather patterns across our neighborhoods.
It's why it can be raining in Beaver County,
while it's dry in Westmoreland County.
Weather coverage you can count on.
When news is happening near you, Channel 11 is there.
Aliquippa, Coriopolis, Moon. We cover news everywhere you live.
That's what makes Channel 11 News different.
We're in McCandless, Cranberry, Butler. For news from where you live,
watch Channel 11 News at 5.
Channel 11 News at 5, covering more news happening in Beaver County.
Quarantining and streaming. A new report from creditcards.com finds nearly a third of adults added a streaming service subscription during the height of the virus lockdown. More than half say they streamed more in March, April, and May. A majority of people also admit sharing their account with someone they don't live with. Fraudsters taking advantage of the COVID-19 crisis are out in full force. Consumer advisor Clark Howard warns, think twice before you open or click on anything online.
The federal watchdogs who track scams say that they are skyrocketing right now. And I have special alerts for you here. Because we're kind of back on our back heel, we're upset, a lot of anxiety, we're more likely, if we see an email from our bank or credit union or credit card company or from a federal agency, we're more likely to open that email, answer that phone call, or respond to that text. Big mistake, because criminals know that what's known as our open rate has gone way up, and we're more likely, because of how anxious we are, to respond. If you do get an email or text or a phone call, know that it may not be who they say they are, much more than in the past. So what I want you to do is take that information, go to your own computer, and look up the number for your bank or whoever and call them at the number you know is the real one. Never click on a link in an email. And if you do want to do something on the computer, go to it and sign in at the website, never from a link that's available in any other form. I'm Clark Howard.
Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Stephanie Allison. Rain showers we had this morning gone now. Still cloudy skies out there, but notice it's starting to get a little bit brighter. We're going to continue to see the clouds break up into the afternoon hours. So we're going to have clouds mixed with sunshine. Now this sets the stage really for tomorrow, as we're going to continue to see temperatures on the warm side. The humidity really starts to increase in the forecast, especially overnight and into tomorrow. So that is going to give us a chance of showers and thunderstorms with a front that's going to move through here. So those showers are gone. The second half of your day now, dry conditions. So if you want to get outside, mow the lawn, if you want to get outside and do some yard work, you can do that this afternoon. There could be a chance of a stray shower or thunderstorm this afternoon just because of how close that warm front is. It might fire off a storm this afternoon, mainly north and east of the city, but most of us, not a thing going on in the forecast besides this warm up for us this afternoon and also that breeze. So wind gusts today up to 20 miles per hour into the afternoon hours. Sustained winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. The high 79 degrees. Clouds mixed with some sunshine, as I mentioned. And look at some of these marks across the area. Once we get that sunshine really going this afternoon, late afternoon and early evening, those marks are going to be on the warm side. 81 in Beaver today, Washington 81, 80 in Uniontown, 79 in Greensburg, and 78 in Butler. So watch what happens this evening. We stay with those warm marks. Once the sun goes down, and we should have a nice sunset tonight, those temperatures still staying on the warm side. Only 78 degrees at 9 o'clock, 74 at 11, and we fall to just 66 tonight. So it's going to be a warm one. Partly cloudy skies overnight. We could see an isolated shower or thunderstorm, but I'm keeping it dry for now. You want to check back in with Chief Meteorologist Stephen Cropper later on tonight for the latest on what is going to happen tomorrow, because Storm Tracker here I'm going to show you has changed the last couple of hours. So I'm going to show you the latest timing on what I have here. Notice that area of rain and storms off to the north. Watch how it drops down in here and stays away from our forecast area. Earlier today, it's been kind of over the Pittsburgh area. So we're going to keep an eye on that system and exactly the timing on when it's going to fire up some storms in our forecast. But it looks like the middle part of their day and into the afternoon hours. And a few of those storms could become strong. And that is all because of what we have setting up for us today and into the overnight hours with that warm, humid air mass there and that front coming through tomorrow. So the SPC has us in a slight risk for severe thunderstorms in the forecast tomorrow. So you can see the areas of yellow. That indicates some of those storms could become strong just because we have the right conditions in the atmosphere to see that happen. So look at that. The timing where we could see some strong thunderstorms, the middle part of your day and into your afternoon hours. The main concern would be heavy rain within some of these thunderstorms, damaging winds and large hail possible. 85 degrees is your high tomorrow. And we are going to see that humidity on the rise into the rest of the week. So Thursday, Friday, still warm and humid. And we are going to still have that unsettled weather in the forecast there for us. Better over the weekend.
And now here's today's Steals and Deals.
Hi, I'm Lisa Robertson, and I have the best idea for you with local steals and deals. Right now, we're sanitizing, we're cleaning, we're disinfecting, right? A million times, a million ways. Oh my gosh. How would you like to have something do it for you with no chemicals? What? I know. This is from 4ID, and it's the best idea ever. So here are the options we have for you. This is the large. So this is simply, they call it a lunch bag, but it's a large bag. You open this up, you put whatever you want to sterilize in here, right? You close it, you plug it in and turn it on, and walk away. It does it for you. Then you have the medium. Same thing. You want to sanitize something, you put it in here, you close it, you turn it on, you walk away. You close it, you turn it on, you walk away. There's even a phone sanitizer. You put your phone in there, you close it, you turn it on, you walk away. There's even a wand for taking it on the go. And here's the best part. You walk in the door and you put your keys in here. Are your keys sterile? No. Do you touch them all the time? Yes. You put your keys in here, you put your jewelry in here, you put your wallet in here, you put your gloves in here, you put your mask in here. And by the way, everyone else in the household does. Everybody puts their stuff in here. And then they close it, and they turn it on, and they walk away, and it's not using any chemicals. I love that. You don't have to use chemicals because these are actually using UV light, and they're giving you 99.9% sterilization rate. That is amazing. I love the fact that this is part of your new routine. I love the fact that this is by your back door, and everything on you goes in here. I love the fact that if you have a baby around, all the baby stuff goes in here because they keep putting everything in their mouths. I love the fact that who wants to think about, wait a minute, this is my favorite ring. I keep wearing it. I bet it's not sterile. I'm going to put it in here. Some jewelry, you don't want to wash your hands with the jewelry on because it might not be good for the jewelry. Put it in here. There's a million reasons, but there's one way, and that's putting it in here, closing it, turning it on, walking away. If you go to localsteels.com right now, all of these great ideas are 40 to 43% off. It's just one of the amazing ideas we have for you, and I guarantee you're going to want a bunch of them.
11 Morning News is committed to covering the reopening of our area, bringing you what's happening now.
Local leaders told us they are confident we'll get the green light later today.
What's new?
Big news for restaurants with outdoor seating.
The Pittsburgh Diocese just announced they are allowing only 25% capacity.
And what's next, with experts weighing in.
Online toolkit full of best practices for reopening.
Here's what changes in the green phase. As you can see right here, we broke it all down for you.
Count on Channel 11 Morning News for live coverage every morning.
Channel 11 News at 5, covering more news happening in Butler County.
If you're looking for something to do with the family this weekend, the Gateway Clipper is back up and running. The Clipper fleet will resume sightseeing tours in just a few days. Tours have been canceled since March when businesses were shut down. And you can once again cruise down the river in a tiki boat. Cruise in Tiki's Pittsburgh reopened Monday. You could take in the city, obviously our city. I'm not sure this is our city here in the video, but you could also toss back a beverage while enjoying the social distancing rules that, of course, will still be in place.
Well, now we are in the green phase. All right. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast is tonight at 5.
Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
As local communities work to get back to business, Channel 11 News will continue to be on the front lines with what is happening now, with experts answering questions about our local economy.
Emergency federal funds heading to Pennsylvania schools.
With a team of reporters every day covering every aspect as we get back to business.
I spoke with the mayor today, and he delivered a message to everyone set to return.